Chicago's quite an interesting place. So I went there. And literally, like, on the plane, on the way there, I was like, oh, this is going to be exciting. I've never been to Chicago before, blah, blah, blah. And as I was on the plane, I was like, wait a minute. I've never even been to the Midwest before. Like, I've been to the Middle East before I've been, right, to the other side of our own country.
Exactly. Like, I've been to Africa. I've been to the Caribbean. I've been to Europe. I have never left the East Coast. Never.
Isn't that wild?
Yes.
So I thought that was funny because I was just like, oh, this is like a whole different like lifestyle, like this Midwest shit. Like people were nice there.
Okay.
It was weird. Why the fuck you being all nice all the time?
Yeah.
How dare you have the nerve to treat other people with respect?
Yeah. That's pretty interesting.
But okay. So the main thing that I noticed, I texted you this, right? Literally, I got off the plane. So my cousin works for like this hotel downtown. So we were only in like downtown Chicago. Like I didn't really see much of the city. Uh-huh. So like I'm just saying this now because people that are actually from Chicago would be like, you know shit. You only hung out by the river. You didn't go to this neighborhood or whatever. All right, this is our podcast. So I'm going to act like I know everything about Chicago because I was there for 2 days.
That's right.
So deal with it, all right? So first of all, it was clean.
Yeah.
Like I walked out of the hotel. I'm like, yo, there's like not mountains of garbage on every corner. What kind of city is this?
They're messing up. They're messing up whoever they are.
It actually, like, literally, I made a game in my head. I was like, let's see if I can find any, like, corners full of trash bags while I'm here. And I didn't find any.
Which is wild. I wonder what the population of Chicago is compared to New York City.
It's funny you say that because I looked it up.
Okay.
So Brooklyn by itself has about the same population as all of Chicago.
Okay, I figured that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, but Brooklyn's dirty. They still can't get it together over here.
Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties here at S.A.D Studios, a.k.a. my apartment. Anyway, we were talking about Chicago and Brooklyn, like the population. So
right.
Basically, Brooklyn itself has almost the same population of Chicago, the whole city.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy.
It is.
But the other big thing that was crazy to me going over there is like, you know, they call them the Great Lakes. They weren't lying. I don't get how that's a lake. I really don't understand how that's not an ocean. Like I've been to the Dead Sea and I could see to the other side.
Yeah.
I went to Lake Michigan. It's like you can't see the other side. Like even on the plane, it's like you don't know where it ends.
Wow.
It's wild. And in my head, I was like, well, what makes this a lake? Is it because it's fresh water?
Yeah.
But what about Salt Lake? What about Salt Lake City?
Utah?
Yeah.
No,
I think... Why is that a lake if it's salt?
A lake is surrounded by a body of water on 3 sides. I believe that's what a lake is. Isn't that what a lake is?
No, that's a peninsula.
Well, no. Wait. A lake is surrounded... A lake is surrounded... by land and has like one opening. Isn't that what sorry, yeah, I flipped it inside out. So.
Yeah, I was like, is that what it is? That would make sense because I think all the Great Lakes connect to each other.
Yeah, it has to be surrounded by land and then have one mouth opening, and that's what makes it a lake.
Yeah.
And the river is like something that runs, and I think like it's like from a mountain, but I'm going too far in bodies of water. And then a pond. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, the thing that's crazy, like the Dead Sea is a pond compared to the Great Lakes.
Wow.
Like it's like not even close. It's wild. So yeah, so it's clean there. I don't know. It was very interesting. It was a nice city, and the Midwest just feels nicer. People just feel nicer.
Interesting.
And I guess we should talk about music at some point, but this all gets to it, right?
Yeah.
This is all setting the stage. So I realized why Chicago became such a like hot spot for music.
Uh-huh.
Because it has a lot to do with the railroad.
Okay.
So like for most of human history, right? Like if you wanted to move goods on like a really large scale, you would have to use ocean or like waterways, right? Mm-hmm. That's why for a long time, New Orleans was such a big deal.
Yeah.
Because it controlled the mouth of the Mississippi River.
Yeah.
And from the Mississippi River, you had access to like the entire inland of the United States. So you could have this one city and basically control the entire heartland of America.
Yeah.
Back when you had to use water. But the thing that really changed that was the railroad. So Chicago became a railroad hub. I don't know exactly why. I guess because it was for at that point it was like kind of centralized in the country, because like the West wasn't really developed yet.
Yeah.
So it was like kind of in the middle, and it was also on the Great Lakes, so it had water transportation as well. So Chicago became a big railroad hub. Like there was all these different trains that all met in Chicago. Like back in the day, if we wanted to go from here in New York and we wanted to go to LA or whatever, we would have to basically take a connecting train to Chicago.
Okay.
We'd have to go from New York to Chicago, and then from Chicago you can basically go anywhere.
Sounds good.
So about the music of Chicago, like the thing that stands out to me when I think of Chicago is Chicago blues. Right? That like the first thing.
Okay.
And I realized, like, thinking about the history of it, that the railroad was a big reason of why Chicago became such a blues spot.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, I don't know when the Great Migration was, like the years.
Yeah, I don't exactly remember. I mean, I could look it up, but it's definitely during like the swing era, the 40s, probably a little before that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, musically, I because I'm just thinking of like Dinah Washington and like those stars. So I'm thinking like the 30s, the 20s. That's when they really came out with the music. But
yeah,
I don't know about the Great Migration. I got C's in global studies. Okay, Dan, stop asking me about American history and things like that. No, I'm just kidding. I know a lot, but little things like the Great Migration, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't call it a little thing. But so I was looking up into it a little bit. So this is a crazy stat. I don't know if it's true.
Yeah.
They said that before the Great Migration, like 80% of the black population of America was in the South.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I don't know what the years are. I
don't know the years, but whatever. It doesn't really matter.
I really don't. You can say anything. Go
but
for
I
it.
realized that the railroad thing is a big part of it, because people were leaving the South.
Yeah.
And they would just hop on a train, and guess where the trains ended?
Right, in the big cities, all the major
in Chicago.
cities. Yeah, because that's like a nexus.
Yeah, literally all the railroads went to Chicago.
Yeah.
So like if you were just hopping anywhere, there was a very high chance that train would bring you to Chicago.
Awesome. That's pretty awesome. I mean, all you got to do is just grab your stick, stuff your red and white kerchief with lots of goods.
Yeah.
Right? Sling it on your back and hop on a caboose, right?
And head up to the city.
Exactly. Sleep on some hay in the back there. Maybe brought some hay in a burlap bag.
You painted the picture over here.
It's time to move. It's time to go.
Yeah. So no, but it's kind of cool how it happened, because it's like obviously blues music comes from the South.
Yes.
So then when everybody was leaving and so many people went to Chicago, they brought the blues like tradition with them. But the thing is, like in the South, there weren't like a lot of cities. Like, it was very like open. So you could just have an acoustic guitar and be singing and people could hear you.
Yes.
Like it wouldn't like you're on like a porch in your house somewhere, you know what I mean? But then when you go to Chicago, you're in a city now, and it's loud. So you can't just be playing acoustic guitars all the time and be heard by everyone.
Right.
So what do?
You get in the circuit, right? You try to get into the clubs and all those things, those little areas where they play music, right?
Well, yeah, but you electrify.
Oh.
Like the instruments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you have to use an electric guitar to be heard.
Yeah.
Over, like if you're just on the street corner and you just have an acoustic guitar, I don't know, like.
So what are you saying? They didn't have electric guitars down south until the railroad?
No. I'm just saying there wasn't really a need to use it as much.
Okay.
Because it's like smaller groups of people, like you're in a quieter place. Like an acoustic guitar, you could just be strumming and it would fill up the whole room.
Yeah.
But if you're in Chicago, there's so much street noise, there's all this shit going on. It's like if you want to be heard over everybody, you maybe use an amplifier.
That's possible. It's a possibility, but you got horns and you got pianos.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then that was I know Quincy Jones moved up there, and that was part of like his thing. Like he came up on the Chitlin circuit.
Yeah.
And like he was like just playing the horns and stuff like that. So yeah, but yeah, I could see why you would like amplify, make your sound bigger, or make your personality or something even bigger too, right? Somebody's got to hear me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's like an industrialized version of the blues.
Yeah.
Right? Because Chicago was like an industrial city. I mean, it's not, as big as New York,
Right.
But there was obviously a lot of industry there. So it kind of like the city, like the industry of it kind of rubbed off on the music, which is when like the blues started getting electrified more. And that's such a big thing because we were talking about in the Zeppelin episode how like they considered themselves like, or the Stones were like sons of Howling Wolf and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, where was Howling Wolf playing his stuff?
Right.
That electric Chicago blues.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely Muddy Waters. Definitely moved up from the South into Chicago and then influenced like the Chicago blues sound.
Yeah.
That's crazy, right? Chicago was just waiting for all those people to come in there and change something about it.
Basically, yeah.
What's the line? Bring me your tired, your musical, your train riders.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it is.
And we'll turn out a whole culture. I believe that's the end of the statement.
We'll change your whole city and make it way better.